You don't need soft life, you need a self-made life.
This soft life, yeah, on social media is a scam.
Do not soft life yourself into debt.
I already know, you scroll through your feed and it's everywhere. The aesthetic, the lifestyle, the promise, wake up slow, have no stress, make passive income, live a luxury lifestyle, and simply rest. But there's a problem. You start adjusting. You tweak your goals, you change your habits, you change your lifestyle, you change everything. Or at least you try to. But here's the thing about lifestyle trends. It gives you a dream, but not a plan. It gives you a vision, but not a purpose. The more you shape your life around the idea of success, the less chance you give yourself to create true success. Hey, if you're new, welcome to the cozy corner of the internet. I'm your host, Christina, and I help people stop shrinking and start living. I have had a very, very long week at work, which is the exact opposite of what this video is about, soft life. I have had very much hard life at work. I've just had 3 back-to-back on-call shifts. I feel like my voice is croaking already. So what is soft life? Soft life is different depending on who you ask. To some people, soft life is legitimately marrying a rich partner and just reaping the benefits of their lifestyle, living a luxurious lifestyle, getting your hair and nails done all the time. To some people, soft life is about being high maintenance, and then to some people it's about being low maintenance. But more importantly, this video just isn't about soft life in itself. It's about a lot of these lifestyle trends which we see emerging. The clean girl aesthetic, the old money aesthetic, the new money aesthetic. I mean, none of this makes sense. Something I'm really excited to talk about and unpack in this video, and I'm excited to hear your opinions on this as well. For those of us still discovering who we are, under 30, we're in our late teens, early 20s. I'm 24. I know some of you guys are around about 24. Some of you guys are older, some of you guys are younger. A lot of us are still discovering who we are. And I find that when you are in this age, still trying to find out who you are and what you even want from life, it's easy to latch on to a lot of these lifestyle trends. I wanted to start off by unpacking this notion of having a vague sense of self. If you're a long-term viewer of the channel, you can maybe resonate to the idea of being someone who grew up maybe not having the most friends, or not having a very outgoing personality, not really being able to talk to new people, not being very comfortable in group situations, group settings, social gatherings. This for sure was me. I talk about this a lot in my videos. If you're an OG subscriber, you probably already know this, but I feel like for those of us that have a vague sense of self, we don't really know who we are. That shows up very evidently in social gatherings and maybe situations where you're trying to force extroversion out of yourself. It's a lot easier to latch onto these trends of soft life, clean girl, because they kind of give you a ready-made, already well-packaged identity for you to step into. You don't need to do the hard work to figure out who you are. You don't need to do the hard work of what to say, what to wear, how to style your hair, because, well, the clean girl would say this, style this, and wear this, so well, I'll just copy that. Something that I've noticed is that when you have a vague sense of self, it's very easy for the world to decide who you are. You'll naturally listen to all the opinions and what everyone has to say about you, and you'll take it on board as feedback, and you'll change your behavior, your appearance accordingly. When you have a weak sense of self, your mum can decide who you are, or your friend can decide who you are. Your crush can decide who you are. When you don't fully know who you are, anyone can decide who you are. Soft life is probably the one that's in the title of this video, but it applies to other things as well. Having a vague sense of self and a weak sense of self is something that's becoming more and more common. There was a survey that interviewed 2,000 Americans, and amongst Gen Z respondents, 38% of them said that they're experiencing a midlife crisis. Essentially, nearly 2 out of 5 people, 40%, that's pretty much nearly 2 in 5 young people are literally don't know what they're doing with their lives, don't know where they're going, don't really know who they are. They're having like a frantic like midlife crisis. I don't know about anyone else, but I definitely feel like I've already had that, and I'm 24. One of the hardest parts about being in your early 20s, you have so much responsibility and so much that's expected of you, but you still don't fully know how to navigate your own self yet. Things that are as trivial as what to wear and how to style your hair and how to present yourself and like your signature scent, your signature style, things that are very trivial and they don't seem that important, like your appearance, you still have a bit of a burden of you haven't fully figured it out yet. And things that are a lot more serious, maybe in terms of your career or future relationships, you're still figuring them out. Like you still haven't fully got to terms with what you want to do in the future yet, or where you want to go, what you see yourself doing for the next 30, 40, 50 years in your career. It's totally normal to have a vague sense of self in your early 20s or late 20s. It's totally normal to not be sure what you want to do. I think one of the most difficult things about Gen Z in this day and age in 2025 is that we have the paradox of choice. There is so much choice of who you can be or who you can become, how you can present yourself, how you can style your hair, and what your aesthetic and external appearance is going to be. With a new lifestyle trend coming out every 6 months, or a newest, I'm calling it lifestyle trend, but I guess you could call them aesthetics. We have so much choice that it's almost making us not know what to choose, and it's almost making you feel even more lost in your identity as well. To some of the older generations, it might seem like a waste of time to even be like entertaining all these aesthetics that come out every 30 seconds, like soft life princess treatment, like ballet core, finance bro, if that's even an aesthetic. It might seem like a waste of time to change your style and your interests and your like aesthetic on your Instagram feed, change your whole persona based on all these trends. You could argue that there's science to this. I think a lot of us as Gen Z are chasing something bigger than us. Matthew Lieberman is a UCLA neuroscientist, and he's written a book called Why Our Brains Are Wired to Connect. It's one of the books that's next on my list. I'm really wanting to read it because he has done research which found that just like we have a fundamental need for food, water, shelter, warmth, we also have a deep fundamental need to feel connected to other people. For some of the older generations, it was pretty normal to be a part of a larger community, whether it was a sports club, whether they were physically playing in the sport, or it's like a football club that they all watch with their friends on a Saturday, they watch the game at the pub, or whether it's like a church that they go to regularly every Sunday, or the mosque every week, whatever it is, or whether it's like a book club, whether it's a running club, or it's not even a religion or a sport, it's just politics. Like this older 50-year-old man, this 50-year-old woman is so involved in politics, they follow regularly what like the Democrats are saying, what the Republicans are saying. Like some of our previous generations have definitely been a part of something bigger, whereas Gen Z, maybe it's a bit of a reach for me to say soft life gives some people the feeling of being connected to something bigger, but I really do think it does. Like if you think about it, for some of the people that are living their mundane lives, they're going to college and coming back, they're going to work and coming back, it can sometimes feel like you lack a bit of purpose. You're living a very routine, mundane life. Sometimes if you are chasing after a lifestyle that you want, you're wanting like a luxury lifestyle, you one day want to drive a certain car, or you've seen all these TikToks and all these YouTube videos of these girls just living a soft life, getting their nails done, getting their hair done, not having all the stress that you seem to have. It can make you feel a part of something bigger, or even motivate you in a way that you haven't been before. Because things that are bigger than ourselves, religion, community, politics, sports clubs, sports teams, it does feel like you're part of something more meaningful, and sometimes that's not evident in your everyday, day-to-day life. And I just want to clarify as well, I don't think soft life innately is a problem in itself. Like I said at the start, there's so many different definitions of soft life. Soft life could simply be like trying to make like doing a face mask every other day. To some people, it's like being a gold digger. Like it really depends. I think the problem arises is when you blindly follow a lifestyle or a vision of the future that you want for yourself without truly defining what success is for yourself. Because it's nice to know that you're a part of something bigger, or it's nice to finally give yourself meaning in your life. You have a vision of what you want now. Someone's shown you what life could be in a soft life, or with princess treatment. And it's nice to finally work towards something bigger than yourself, because that gives you a lot of meaning. But a problem arises is when you follow someone else's vision and don't create your own vision. When you chase this big external reward that you see online, when you're chasing this big external vision of what someone's shown you is possible, it's possible to just get your hair and nails done every weekend. It's possible to buy a new Chanel bag every couple of months and just live a really relaxed lifestyle. The problem is that you don't learn to become, you only learn to chase. You never learn the skill of creating a true vision for yourself, like truly a unique future for yourself. You might say, oh no, because I do want, a Chanel bag, and I do want like a well-balanced work-life, balanced lifestyle with well-being and face masks and cutesy evenings, doing my nails. If I took TikTok away from you and I took Instagram away from you, would you still truly want this for yourself? There are some people out there, but because of how easily influenced they are, because of their vague sense of self, and because you're just in your early 20s, you did nothing wrong, but you don't fully know who you are yet, you haven't created like a true identity for yourself, you're maybe having a midlife crisis, you don't learn to become, you only know how to chase. The reason why I'm making this video essentially, and the reason why I think this is important, is because when you are this person that only knows how to chase, someone can show, like an influencer can show you her day in the life video, and you're super inspired by it. You're even maybe borderline jealous of it, and you're like, oh, I want this for myself. I want to unbox PR packages all evening and just buy new and open my new makeup that I got for free. Like I want that for myself too. Is that you become a follower of someone else's life and not a leader of your own life. You become so easily swayed and led by what some influencer will tell you, or what some influencer will post in a video, and it will literally sway you to think like, oh, I want to do this now, or I want to do that now. Like, give this video a thumbs up if you're one of those people that you're literally setting new goals all the time, because you see new things that you want to do all the time, and you're like, oh, I want to do this now. I want to start this side hustle now. I'm going to stop doing what I was doing before. I'm going to jump on this because this person made a video about how they blew up on Instagram and they got 10,000 followers so quick. I'm going to copy this now. And then someone will show you how they started an Etsy shop, and then you'll copy that. When you don't have a sense of self, you're going to be so easily swayed. You're going to become a follower to someone else and not a leader for yourself. Chasing comes at a price, and I want to unpack this. this. The reason why you don't need a soft life and you instead need a self-made life is because you'll never truly be happy if you're just following someone else's vision of success. This is one of these things that like is so important, and you only really realize it like after you've chased and chased and chased and chased and you've reached the top of the mountain and you realize, oh, like this wasn't my mountain, like this actually wasn't for me. And then you realize, okay, this is why I need to define success for myself. The price of chasing and the price of being a follower is becoming a success that was never really your definition of success. And sometimes that can be a bittersweet moment when all your hard work paid off because you won technically, but it wasn't really what you expected or what you wanted. A classic example for me is becoming a doctor and graduating med school. For most of my life, it was my absolute dream to be a doctor. I know some of you guys will probably know this if you've watched a few videos. Now that I've graduated, I'm in my first big girl job as a doctor, wearing my scrubs every day, going into the hospital every day. I don't think this is the career for me. I know it's not the career for me. It's taken me 6 months of working and I'm like, yeah, I can do 1 year of this at a push. I have 1 year of this left in me max, and I have to leave. I have to do something else. I've thought this was success. I chased this and now I realize it's not what I want. Going back to soft life, I know everyone's definition is different. I'd be curious to know what your definitions are in the comments. Like maybe you are someone that is like fully behind soft life. I don't know. You can live a life with like no problems, no issues, no stress. Something that I've just come to terms with and I've learned to accept. Maybe this is a toxic belief, but life will always have struggles. I don't know if I'm maybe being toxic with that. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? How could you ever live a life with no struggles? Even with soft life, if you were to have, this luxurious life, be super mindful, at peace, do your skincare and do your makeup and all these things. If you remove the larger struggles from life, maybe the worries of making ends meet and paying your bills, or you remove the worries of like family members, the stress and the politics, or you remove health struggles, you're no longer worrying about that medical bill or whatever. You've got rid of the big struggles, but naturally as humans, you're just going to fine tune your antenna to like the little struggles. You're now going to complain over like, oh, you've got split ends now. Or you're now going to complain, oh, but she did my pedicure, but like she didn't get the color right. The color doesn't match. The lifestyle that you're chasing after, whether it's being an influencer and getting all this PR, having a 6-figure side hustle, being really successful, having a soft life, every single one of those will come with problems. Like my life has struggles. Everyone's life has struggles. Some influencers do a great job of communicating this. I will say, like, there are some influencers out there that show all the downsides and their bad days, and they're showing pictures of them crying. Like they show how it's not all sunshine and rainbows. When you're someone who's still figuring out your identity and you're chasing after this vision of success that someone else has handed to you and you've not created it for yourself, you're going to be hit the hardest when you achieve it or you get there and you realize this is not what I wanted, because you chase someone else's version of success rather than creating your own, which is why I really believe in building a self-made life. By the way, if you're enjoying this video and want to be a part of a like-minded community, we have a Discord down in the description and we have a Facebook group too. I love joining in the Discord chat here and there. Like I'm always like looking and lurking and seeing what people are saying. So be sure to join if you want to meet other like-minded people like this on the channel. Something that I've really had to start thinking about is like, what struggles would I be happy to tolerate? Because there is no life without struggle. Because even if you think about, the perfect life of being married to a partner, having your dream job, whatever that means, having your dream car, having your dream family, having kids, having like an amazing family, your kids will give you struggles. Your car will give you struggles. Your car is a car. It will have wear and tear. It will have struggles. Your spouse is a human being. They will have bad days. They will annoy you. They will do things wrong. They will do the wrong thing. They'll mess things up. They'll break things. Like humans will human and life will life. I feel like trying to create a vision of a perfect future and a perfect life with no struggles is setting yourself up to be so unhappy, because rather than picking all the perfect things you want, I think something else to consider as well is what are the not so great things you're happy to put up with? I've had to really have a think about this, and I've realized, do you know what? I'm a busy person with a somewhat short attention span. I'm always going to be working on multiple projects at once. That is just who I am. I know it will always be the case. So if that's the case, I'm happy to put up with, I'm okay with not having a work-life balance. I'm actually at peace with that. I genuinely am someone that I like to work hard on things that are really meaningful. Like I don't really, soft life isn't really for me. Building a self-made life doesn't just look like cherry picking all the amazing things that you want, but also clarifying and really getting clear on the things that you're willing to put up with. Do I want to be someone that's working a job, or do I want to be someone that's got multiple projects, multiple job, side hustle? You kind of have to think, who do I want to be? And then kind of brainstorm the life you want after that. I think a lot of us do it the other way around, where we think the car, the lifestyle and the job is the most important thing and we chase after it. And actually, after making that mistake, kind of a mistake, not a mistake, I kind of think actually I need to reverse engineer it and prioritize myself as the key thing. Who do I want to be at work? I currently am the burnt out, exhausted, impatient person that's trying to rush and get all these patient medications prescribed and all these discharge letters done and all these medical things sorted. I don't want to be that person. I want to be someone that's a lot more giving and a lot more patient. And I'm now using that to brainstorm my dream life rather than doing it the other way around. Sometimes when we are insecure about who we are, or we haven't fully figured out who we want to be yet, we still have a vague sense of self. We still have a weak identity. It feels so much easier to latch onto someone else's definition of a success. Like someone else has already figured it out. Someone else already has 100,000 followers or 100,000 subscribers. Someone else has already built a 7-figure business. Let me not even think. Let me just immediately copy. And you almost start the race before you've even thought about, do I want to be in this race? And simply this video was your reminder to maybe really think about, is this the race you even want to win? Because there are so many other different races. Not every race is on the land. Some races are in the water, in the ocean, in a pool. You've started the race before you've even thought about if you want to win this race. But I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for coming to the cozy corner of the internet. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one.